If you're in a condo, can you simply convert to an HOA and deed all your common property to your owners to save on insurance? In this video, two of our experts answer that question. Welcome to this HOAleader.com video chat with two of our experts. My name is Gabriella Falisco. Today, I'm joined by Carolina Shear of Florida and Mike Kim of Illinois. And this month, we're seeking advice from these two experts on two issues. First, whether the move I just mentioned will reduce insurance costs. And second, whether this owner's proposed process for this change is doable. And it came up because a condo owner posted online and said, "We have a condo with multiple units that include a beach access right of way, along with other common area properties and water rights. We want to convert to an HOA and deed the property under each unit to individual owners for insurance and catastrophic recovery purposes. Seems to me this would be simple as doing a find and replace on our condo documents from condo association to HOA. And with a stroke of a pen, you have a new association." And then our commenter adds, "But I'm told it doesn't work that way." So here we start with the simple question. Would this move fix skyrocketing insurance premiums? And just a note, these experts are providing insights based on the laws and practices in their state. This is not intended to provide you guidance based on your state. It's just general guidance. If you want to do this in your state, consult a lawyer in your state. So with that in mind, Mike, generally, would a move like this, condo to HOA and deeding common property to individual owners, would that save on insurance, do you think?
Well, I guess first of all, I would say, apart from the legal aspect, the questioner should look also at talking to insurance professionals. My experience has been that when dealing with HOAs, and I take it in terms of just the language we're using, the terminology we're using, condominiums are condominiums everywhere. HOAs or homeowner associations in my jurisdiction in Illinois, that really relates to what we call a common interest community, which is basically individuals owning their own individual dwelling units and the association owning the common areas. Having said that, it used to be that each owner would be responsible for his or her own insurance on their own dwelling, and the common areas would be insured by the association. However, though, I've seen basically the trend to go the other way. Despite what the documents may say, the preference is, for obvious reasons, the coverage be maintained, especially as to casualty insurance, be maintained under a condo-like policy. Because the practical reality is, what happens if you have an individual homeowner who doesn't pay his insurance premium and the policy is canceled? And then there's a disaster, unfortunately, and that house is destroyed, but that owner has no insurance. So the rest of the community is left with a possibly an eyesore, if not a hazardous condition existing from a burnt out unit. And so the thinking is, well, we cannot really rely upon individuals having the same type of coverage, the same quality of carrier, et cetera, et cetera. And so the reality is that it's really better that situations, even though involving individual dwelling units, be sort of covered under a master policy, which of course the
Interesting.
association would be responsible for.
Interesting. Carolina, what do you think on this intro general question?
What Mike refers to reminds me of a situation that we had here in Florida where they were trying to force place insurance or have each individual condo unit statutorily obligated to carry insurance on their own unit. And then we ran into the situation of enforcement when they did not. It also brings us to the idea of, if you are not required to carry insurance on your own unit and you don't, then we run into a problem when there is a loss. I don't necessarily know whether one property versus the other would result in a lower insurance premium. You have to take a look at the property itself. The property that you described it appears to be a waterfront property, which in of itself makes it more difficult to insure in the first place. And perhaps it's easier to insure it in a master policy than individual unit owners who are getting dropped left and right, at least in Florida. I don't necessarily think that you would want to change the nature of a property for insurance considerations only when you have to take a look at other factors that may be affecting it, especially depending on the jurisdiction that you're in. Here in Florida, There are other factors that you want to take into consideration as far as condominium versus HOA ownership and what the implications are. I don't know what it's like in other states, but I don't necessarily think that insurance should be the reason that you change the entire structure of a piece of land.
Interesting. Okay, so to sum up, you're both saying you're not sure this would fix the problem. There also become new compliance issues, like you would have to stay on owners to make sure they're still fully insured, which is more duty, more obligation, and all kinds of other issues come up. So excellent information. Listeners, thanks for joining us. And please be sure to click on the link below to watch the additional extended video where these experts discuss whether they've ever seen this happen and the proper process for doing this. Thanks again.